All right, yeah, now I need to get out of here. So we are jumping in there. Let's do this. It's a new dawn, John.
It's a new dawn. Oh, is that what we're going to name it? That's what we should name it. It's a new dawn.
It is a new dawn.
See,
What once was a finance podcast
is now a cardboard collectible finance.
Is now a Pokemon card finance podcast.
Magic the Gathering will not be taking part.
Because we don't know anything about it. But can shiny cardboard be an investment?
Or your ultimate demise.
All right, we are back, John. We're back in Lucas's room. This is going to be like our spot now, I feel like.
I think this has to be the spot. It's cozy. We got twin beds. If we get tired, imagine just like sitting and laying on the bed top and we're like not looking at each other, but we're just...
That's what Jamie said.
Stacked and we're just like sitting there like...
She's like, are you on the bunk beds recording it?
And then if you're like, dude, that was a great idea, you just lean your head over or something.
But now that it's a new dawn and we are going to take this podcast in a new direction, the setting is much more appropriate because if we did that, we would be laying in bunk beds that had Pokemon bed sheets, are covered in Pokemon Squishmallows. Again, we're surrounded by Pokemon decor. And honestly, it'd be the perfect environment for our new It's a New Dawn podcast.
Where did you get this Eevee one?
That's a Pokemon Center exclusive.
Oh, dang.
Look on the butt. It has a little Pokemon Center.
Oh, dude, this, again, the stamp, bro. Everything. You got a Squishmallow, but with the stamp. Let's start with that. I think we should start directly with that.
You want to hear that? Want to see? I messed up big time because there was a Dragonite Pokemon Center Squishmallow.
And you missed it.
I could buy. I haven't checked the market to see what that value that Squishmallow. You're looking it up right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up right now.
You gotta look up the Pokemon Center exclusive one because I have.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna.
I have the regular one, but I don't have the Pokemon Center exclusive Dragonite.
That's a shame, dude.
It really is.
I mean, that honestly is a regrettable situation.
It is. It is admittedly
Dragonite, Squishmallow, Pokemon Center. That's not bad.
How much is it?
$21.
21 for the Does it actually have the little stamp on the butt?
I'm looking for it.
Because some people mislist it.
This one's mislisted. It has it, but it doesn't have the
Look out for that, people. When you shop, make sure you don't just follow the...
That's actually a really good point and a good topic, because we're talking about...
Well, we haven't even announced our transition yet, so let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, you're right.
Give me Dragonite Pokemon Center price.
I see one that actually shows the label for $39.88.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
I'll send it
to you so you can...
Well, anyway,
look at it
so
later.
John, we are now going to be sitting here once a week talking about collectibles, Pokemon cards, magic
collectibles,
cards, comic books occasionally, Disney Lorcana for all of the 5 of us that collect that. Dude, we're going to be talking about all that kind of stuff, and why are we going to do that, John?
Well, I think it's a very relevant topic because it seems to me that in a state of the world where money is so tight, the one thing that, in addition to the market, that fluctuates is collectibles. And I think we've talked about this yesterday, that it has now been proven that, or you said it best, when enough people decide that something is an investment, it is. And I think this now more than ever has become, I think it's always been an investment, but I don't think it's reached the audience that it has now. And now that it has, I think we're in completely uncharted territory. And it is an investment.
So here's the world we live in, okay? So for those of you that don't know, I am a CFP.
Certified CFP. You'll hear us say that many times.
Certified financial planner. Yes. And I can tell you that at the end of the day, I've never been a huge believer in cryptocurrency. Sorry for all my crypto fans out there. You guys are doing great, so you don't need my apologies. Again, at the end of the day, I've never been the biggest crypto fan, and I've always kind of used Pokemon cards as like my version of crypto. It probably, to a lot of people out there, makes no sense that these cards have value and that they go up so much in price, and that, again, that people would pay so much for a literal piece of cardboard. But to me, I enjoyed it as a kid. Always loved collecting. And at least when it comes to the cards, there are fundamentals that I feel comfortable at least attempting to identify, right? And what I mean by fundamentals are like rarity, popular characters, certain circumstances where you had to get the card, like lots of things that go into making a card potentially more valuable, right? Again, but at the end of the day, it's equally a little cuckoo but it was my version of investing in crypto. And we are at a point now where, like we said, like we were talking about the other day, where I've kind of like come to the realization that crypto has taught me the only thing it takes for something to be an investment class is enough people to say that it is. And right now, I think we live in a world where the people have spoken. Sports cards, we're not in the sports cards, so we won't talk about it a whole bunch on here. We just don't know enough about it. But at the end of the day, Pokemon cards, collectibles in general, comics maybe not so much currently, but even, like I said, that you look at all that type of stuff, there is a market for it. People do want it, and we are two of those people. So we're going to kind of talk about cards, try to relate it to actual finance because of my profession, try to make it useful for you all out there so you all can think about these things from a different perspective. John has his perspective, I have mine, but we both love collectibles.
Yeah. And maybe you'll be able to carry some of these lessons, the things that we've talked about, carry some of these into other types of investments. Not outside of just collectibles.
Absolutely. Because a lot of the habits, a lot of the behaviors, a lot of the psychology is going to be very similar.
Oh, yeah. I feel like
Definitely there are differences in the markets. It has its uniqueness.
Of course. But as far as like the way you invest, the way you strategize, I feel like I learned a lot just from doing the collectibles that's crossed over to my investment portfolio in the market.
I mean, I think the psychology is the same.
Exactly.
I think when it comes to investing in stocks and in the market and putting your money into things like collectibles, I think the psychology of it is the same. As you're making money, the greed, the fact, all the things that go through your head, the decision making where you're like, it's very, very similar in the way that things run through your head with collectibles. Now, what I would say is that the one difference is that with collectibles, we do tend to, I think, get attached to them maybe a little bit more than some people would with their investments.
Because it's tangible. It's something that you're actually holding in your hand versus something being digital. As much as like the market is, your investment portfolio, you can't really touch it. You can't feel it. You can't turn it over. You can't look at it.
It doesn't look adorable.
It just looks like a chart. It's honestly kind of like it's just a digital currency almost. In a way.
You're talking about the cards?
No, I'm saying the market. So, like, with cards, like,
and it's funny, right? It is funny because even with the digital currency and the stocks, right, I think that people, they almost do love them when they're making their money. It's almost that psychology. Again, that's where the psychology kind of is the same. Mm-hmm. But, to your point, the minute things are not making them money anymore, it's much easier to be like, that shift in your head where it's like, oh, I love this thing. I love my stock. I love my cryptocurrency, whatever. It's no longer making me money. I totally don't love it anymore. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Whereas the collectible, it's still like, I still think it's cooler than that.
Yeah, it's gone down, but it's shocking to me because this card is awesome and it's going to stay in my PC or personal collection.
Which might make it stickier in some people's hands than like a regular traditional investment. But again, both markets are going to have their nuances, right? And we already kind of touched on one. You want to talk about it? Literally, credible sellers.
Yeah, credible sellers.
How literally the way that you transact is definitely not as regulated and definitely not as secure as something like stocks. At least from like the transactional scammy part of it.
For sure. I mean, so the big two platforms for collectibles are eBay and TCG Player. Would you agree? Those are the top two?
Yeah, I mean, I think people are trying to make Facebook a thing to do sketchy avoiding taxes things and things like that, but fees and all that stuff.
That'll eventually come to this sort of thing.
I think predominantly the most, TCG Player and eBay.
Just for the sole purpose of like, if you do get scammed, probably your best bet of having protection with eBay and TCG Player.
Oh, absolutely. And we can touch on that. Yeah, and definitely try to use payment forms that give you protection on top of that, right? Like PayPal, credit card, things that have a layer of defense where if you did get scammed, in addition to being protected by hopefully the site that you bought from, you have your own layer of protection.
Correct, yeah.
You can call your company and say, I was scammed, and they can help you out a little bit.
So this era, the reason I think this is a good one to talk about is this era, because of the high demand and such a popularity with collectibles, a lot of people are scamming others. And to the point where I was on an eBay listing a couple months ago, I was listening to a podcast, and they were talking about how people took a picture of an item and listed it for like hundreds of dollars. It was a photo.
And then they would say in the description, this is a photo. You know it's a photo. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, and people just bought it without looking at the description. And they said in the description, clear as day,
refunds.
You are going to get a picture.
Yep.
Like, literally.
But people don't read.
No one reads. So then they get a picture, and then they're upset. And eBay sides with the seller because it's clear in the description that they're spending money on a piece of paper. How rough is that? But again, we're in an area where people are jumping into this hobby and nobody knows what to look for. No one's paying attention. Fake cards are at all-time high. Fake graded cards are higher. It's just constant. So I think the big thing to just put on the table right away is look for verified sellers, look for reviews, look for people who are checkmarked with the little yellow check on TCG Player, eBay,
and protect yourself.
And protect yourself. Find ways, like, again, credit cards are awesome because you're borrowing the money and they'll most likely have your back. Plus, you have eBay's protection, so it's kind of double layered.
Again, I think that what it kind of comes down to is that this is going to be harsh, but it's on you. It's
definitely on
you to make sure you don't get scammed. If you do get scammed, the reality is that there's so many layers of protection, starting from obviously just using the vessels that you said, buying through these credible sites, using another layer of protection with your payment method, but furthermore, reading and like actually looking. And because again, when like you literally buy a Dragonite Squishmallow Pokemon Center and then it arrives, it doesn't have the stamp, and then you look at the pictures and there were no stamps on any of the photographs. Again, that is something that should never have even made it past the gatekeeper. I mean, again, and that's where it's like, you didn't get scammed. You were negligent. Like I said, so again, at the end of the day, it's like they made a mistake. You could have caught it. So again, I definitely think that with the amount of layers that you can take to protect yourself, yeah, you might find that guy on Facebook who's selling it for, but his price is $20 cheaper. If it's too good to be true, it is. Don't do it.
Yes.
So, but you've got to pay me friends and family. Like, no, I don't know you. You're not my friend. I'm not going to just give you $80. I'll pay the $95 and that guy will pay fees and I'm protected and it's fine.
Yep.
If
it's too good to be true, you said it best. Ain't going to be. It's not.
So
stay away.
So right now, a really stark similarity between the just investing world and the collectible world is the market is redonkulous.
It's crazy. Again, people are complaining about how expensive things are. People are saying money's tight. People are losing jobs, whatever it is. Jobs are hard to find. And yet, I just see constantly people throwing hundreds of thousands of dollars in collectibles.
Dude, I went to Walmart yesterday as like a random, just like, again, I know that Walmart, I haven't been to I've not tried to catch a restock in a better part of like 3 or 4 years. But I know that when I was catching restocks back in 2021, when I know Thursday is when Walmart generally would stock. So yesterday I jumped, it's in Walmart, like I said, as I was passing by just to see, and they actually must have restocked that day because there were Journey Together blisters, single pack blisters. I didn't buy any of the single pack blisters. I know, dude, again, the FOMO does not overcome me. I'm sorry, John.
I'm just shocked. Yeah, next time, call me and I'll just tell you.
The single packs?
Yeah, dude. At this point, okay.
Listen to yourself.
I know, but this is what I want to say. At this point, I'm not trying to buy them all. I'm not trying to be a scalper.
Well, you're buying something when you see it.
I'm just saying.
So then you're going to kill me. You're going to kill me if I tell you that when I went to the back, there were the Miraidon and Crydon tins, the little tins that have like 5 packs or whatever, and the Pokeball tins as well. But my point is, let me finish my story, is that, yes, I didn't buy them. Stop shaking your head at me.
You fool.
Plenty of people agreeing with you right now, but as I walked back toward the front, reconsidering my decision making about this.
Just again. Dude, horrible.
I see a guy who looked like he must have been like my age, maybe a little bit older. So in his 30s, maybe like early 40s, dude sitting there flipping through the Pokemon cards, the Journey Together blisters, like flipping, looking at them, and he has a bag in his hand with a Surging Sparks ETB in it. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, dude, this guy literally must have just gone to the back and gotten that, and it must have been sitting there like moments ago. And I missed it, and I was like so bummed because, again, Surging Sparks was really the first set where like we really stopped opening. Right, and I saw it, and that's absolutely something I would have brought home and opened with Lucas for sure, because I would have got it for MSRP. It would have been awesome. I've never opened it. It's like an older kind of set, older, air quotes, at this point, right? And as I'm watching this dude pick up one of the binders that they have stocked there and pull out his phone and look at TCG Player to see if he can profit on flipping this binder that he found, I'm literally like sitting there watching. I'm like, dude, that's so lame. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, how much is a Surging Sparks ETB? Like, how much could he even be profiting? Like, we got to be getting to a point where it's getting better, so these guys are less motivated to keep doing this. But no, I pull up Surging Sparks ETBs, and they're $95 on TCG Player, and I'm like, that's why it's not getting any better. Like, dude,
no, and that's not. And again, I think you should kick yourself, and I'm going to give you a little lesson. You should kick yourself. I'm not saying you have to go in and scalp it all, but I think right now, if you can find anything Pokemon related and MSRP pricing, I think it's a good time to grab a couple of things. You talked about it the other day, how it's annoying where you don't want to open into your personal collection and not be able to open stuff. That would have been a perfect opportunity. $10, $15, get a few blister packs, you have something to open, you don't really care, and you get the experience of doing it. I think right now, if you can find product at MSRP, that stuff needs to get opened. You need to enjoy it and have fun with the hobby like we used to do. But right now, it's so hard to find anything MSRP, and even if you do find it online or another server, you're going to pay 2 to 3 times the money for it.
All right.
So then why would you open it at that point? Because you've already overpaid for it. So now you're not going to want to open it.
So as I'm sitting here listening to you, I'm thinking about this story, and I think what I'm coming to accept is that I was going back up there, and I was going to grab some Journey Together blister packs, but when I saw this guy with his Surging Sparks ETV, I was so butthurt by it that I literally was like, I'm not buying any packs now.
Honestly, but see, I feel like that should have fueled you to do it. He's like, this guy thinks he's going to get out of my way.
These are all my packs. That's so funny, dude.
I just go up to him. Did you see the price of TCG Player? Even though you didn't look.
You snooze, you lose.
You snooze, you lose. Enjoy that Surging Sparks.
Dude, oh my God. I did regret not buying the tins because, again, that would have been a nice little spread of packs. Even no matter what sets they would have been. It would have been, like, fun to open. It would have been a good thing to open with Lucas. It would have been, but I
think the tins are honestly very underrated. Not like the set tins with the 2-packs, but the tins you're talking about. I think those are awesome products because, again, you kind of get the fishnet technique, especially when, even early phase Scarlet Violet now is like getting up there in price. I mean, Paldea Ball Booster Box are like $300-something. If you get a pack of that, it's like that's a pretty nice score now.
Yeah.
Or Twilight Masquerade or something or 151 or whatever it is.
And furthermore, I feel like when you don't really have like anything specific you want to open, a pack variety is kind of like a nice little way to go, especially if it's something like Scarlet and Violet, where even though some sets are definitely stronger than others, all of them can hit. All of them have like fairly decent pull rates in the sense that like the IRs are going to be like fairly
consistent.
So you open a variety of 5 packs, even though they're all over, like your odds are your odds. I get it, but you're probably going to see it's a decent pack opening experience, and you don't really know what you want to open with like those little mini pack spreads. Again, now for something like Sword and Shield, I wouldn't necessarily agree with that because a lot of those Sword and Shield pull rates are like abysmal.
Vivid Voltage, Chilling Reign, Evolving Skies,
dude.
Evolving Cries.
Really, until you get to like Lost Origin, it's just like not pretty.
But even Lost Origin, because I guess Lost Origin and Astral Radiance have the Galarian galleries, right?
Yeah, that trainer gallery slot, which again,
trainer gallery, yeah.
Yeah, again, so it makes it feel a lot better. But those are like early on Sword and Shield pull rates.
Those are rough. Do you remember the first time we reopened, we jumped into the hobby, it was like 2020 or 21?
Yes.
And we got Vivid Voltage, but a buttload of Chilling Reign. Yeah. And Chilling Reign was like, it was so bad to the point where you didn't even have a hit because almost like every card that wasn't a hit, the back borders was just absolute trash.
Yep.
The quality was really difficult. It's a hard set to grade. And, but the pull rates were just chilling pain, man. It was just terrible.
Yep, dude. Hey guys, did I ever tell you that John opened how many Evolving Skies boxes that night? That I tried to stop.
So I made a mistake. This was probably I did okay. I bought a case.
This is also a big difference in the stock market. You can't walk into your closet and rip your investment open and spontaneously combust it into nothing.
Dude, we just did an opening with Andres, and again, we did well, but
we did not return our value.
We did not return the value by any means. When I took that out of the collector app, it was painful. So yeah, years ago, I got a case of Evolving Skies.
Your investments with collectibles, they have to fight off the market
and you. That's the biggest problem. Dude, honestly, I might take you up on the storage unit.
I'm telling you, the storage unit is a godsend. That stuff would have been dead in my closet.
Pokey Beard also said he has a lot of his stuff in
there. That's what gave me the idea. I was like, it's smart because it's AC controlled. It's always safe for me predominantly. It won't get touched. I won't move it around in the closet.
You're right.
But anyway, yes, Evolving Skies.
So Evolving Skies, I bought a case with 6 boxes.
Get ready for this, everybody.
This is painful and awesome at the same time. Got a case. It was like $770, and $770 for a case. All 6 boxes. So I opened one.
He picked a random box and opened it, and what was inside?
I'm trying to think though, because I think I first sold a box or two, because they were like $200, $300 a box. I was trying to recoup. So I remember I opened a total of 4. No. Then you're right. I picked a random box.
Yeah, you opened.
I picked a random box, and this was like when the boxes were getting to like $300 a piece. And I picked. I got Rayquaza. I got the Rayquaza VMAX.
$300 a piece. Evolving Skies.
Yeah, could you imagine those days? And I pulled the Rayquaza VMAX alt art.
First box out of the case.
Got extremely lucky.
Meanwhile, I opened a whole case earlier, like the month before, a couple months before, and got no alternate arts of any kind.
Again, Evolving Cries. I call it for a reason. It's very painful.
So John,
I got that.
Hit the proverbial lottery.
And I was under the impression that, and again, alcohol maybe had a big factor in this, so don't drink and open cards, people. Just don't do it. I was like, dude,
storage unit.
We're going to find more stuff in these boxes. And Alex over here was trying to calm me down and tell me, no, it's not a good idea. So I proceeded to tell him he was wrong and got upset with him. But we opened 3 more boxes.
I was not happy.
And it was very, very painful because we pulled absolutely nothing. Although I would say if I did keep some of those like alt-art cards and the random VMAXs, they'd be worth a nice little pretty penny today. But ended up selling them at that time, which was not a good move.
I seem to remember that the reason John was so hyped and justifiably like making it seem like it was okay in his head to open this was because he had a guy that would buy his bulk. And he's like, dude, I got a guy. I need more bulk for this guy. I'm like, that's why you're opening a $300 boxes. But to be fair, having a hookup for your bulk is pretty nice.
It is very nice and very hard because, again, a lot of people just do not want the bulk. I mean, even local gaming stores, you go in and they'll take it for free, but they will not pay you anything for it. But I was still able to salvage that Evolving Skies experience. I was able to sell the last 2 boxes at a nice price.
Yes, you did.
I got the Rayquaza graded in at 10.
Probably regret
sold that.
having sold those at this point,
considering their price absolutely, point currently. Yes. But again, another point of the story
Carvana.
that
we talked about Carvana on this channel.
I don't want to talk about
Evolving Skies. It's Carvana
again. Twice.
It's a nice analogy here.
It is a very nice analogy.
And when it comes to John's life.
And it stings, but I will say that I can at least wake up at the end of the day knowing that don't be upset with profits. 100%. And if I can still profit, even though, because we don't know what's going to happen. We really don't overall. We don't know how long it's going to take. We don't know. Everyone's situations are different, so don't be upset. Even if you make some mistakes, maybe sell too early. Maybe open cards drunk when you shouldn't for bulk. Don't. If you somehow are able to stay profitable through it all, pat yourself on the back because that's a win in itself.
And I think that, like you said, I think that taking profits is a huge deal. I think that everyone likes to paint this picture. It's just like with investing. We're going to bring this back to investing here. When it comes to collectibles, it's the same thing that everybody likes to paint this picture of the perfect way to do it. where you do it this way and you make the most money. And if you're doing it a different way, you're doing it wrong. When, dude, that is like such BS. It is like unbelievable, both in investing and when it comes to collecting. Have your method. If you are consistently taking profits, even if there's going to be a whole crowd of people laughing at you as the card keeps going up or the box keeps going up and they keep making more money, dude, you have a rhyme, you have a reason, you have a method, and if you stick to it, you will get consistent results. You'll enjoy this hobby for a long time. You'll be successful investing, when bringing it back to investing. Listening to other people who are trying to tell you what you should be doing is the biggest mistake you can make. If you're making profits, if you're selling things in the green, and you are consistently doing that, again, I think you're going to be able to enjoy this hobby for a very long time in a healthy way. And I think that is critically important.
That being said, still listen to your friends when they tell you do not open 3 boxes of Evolving Skies.
So I think that's a pretty good point to make here at this point, which is, you guys, if you are opening cards, you are not investing in any way, shape, or form.
You are gambling.
You are totally gambling. Literally, we'll call opening packs is buying unsecured options. Right? Would you say that's a pretty nice comparison?
Or pretty much going into the casino and dropping everything on 31 black.
If you're buying an option that you don't own the stock or you have nothing to do with the stock and you're gambling, that's a gamble. Walking to the casino, it's a gamble. Opening packs, it's 1,000% a gamble. If you're buying singles are a little finicky because they're so volatile and their prices can be so finicky based off of hype and blah, blah, blah. If you're buying sealed products, though, I mean, definitely, I feel like it's super hard to argue that sealed boxes of really most things, but definitely Pokemon, that they're not an investment. So again, at that point, opening cards, not an investment. Gambling. Buying sealed boxes and keeping them sealed, definitely arguably investing. And if you're going to do that, protect the boxes from yourself.
Yes.
Put them away. Do what you got to do. If you're the type of person who's going to go in there and rip them, which I am, 100%. And John's not as bad, but you go through waves where like it just gets decimated in one blow.
It does, but because again, and especially lately, in my defense,
the way the world chip away at my stuff and it just like slowly.
And I just do it in one blast. Yeah, but the problem is it's withdrawals. Again, it's so hard to find products. So next time you're at Walmart, you buy blister bags. Call me. So I can get some product and enjoy it so that I don't build. I don't care. I don't care what it is, dude. I just want to get some product to open so I don't rebel and go in my closet and rip my 2 RCSB star boxes.
There was a huge box of them. Let's go back.
No. Today?
Yeah, let's go back.
Dude, there's no way they're still there.
You think they all got cleared out?
Dude, bro. Have you seen this market?
Oh my God.
Bro.
I thought Journey Together was trash. I haven't even opened any.
Again, if you can find product at this point, it is a win.
Dude,
we have people waiting 2 to 4 hours just to get possibly 1 box of cards.
Dude.
4 hours out of their day to get $50 product.
Dude.
Are you effing serious?
Dude.
This is the world we live in. And you're like...
I've only opened Journey Together one single time, and it was the 3-pack blister that they got for me the one time, and I pulled a Wailord.
Yeah, I know. I was there. And the Wailord's doing really well.
The Wailord's doing really well.
Honestly, let's talk about this real quick. This is a good topic.
All right, we probably got to wrap up here shortly, but I think this is a bit of a good segue because I think we didn't really even get into like any kind of price movement.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about two. We have time. We have time for 2 things.
We probably have like 10 minutes.
Okay. First thing I want to talk about is the craze of the food containers at Target. Because I just think that's a crazy story. I'd say years and years ago, people would buy acrylic cases for their sealed products like ETBs, Elite Trainer boxes, and booster boxes.
And then someone
discovered that at Target, the 12, I'll pull it up exactly.
It's a box designed for cereal.
Cereal, coffee, whatever you can think of. It's a food storage container.
But someone knew.
Someone realized that basically...
an ETB would fit perfectly.
And sure enough, it does. It's called at Target the 12.6C tall rectangular plastic food storage container, bright room stackable cereal, and rice storage, 8 inches height.
And if you read the reviews, they're glowing about how their ETBs fit perfectly inside of them.
Now, meanwhile, with the Pokemon and collectible boom being what it is,
stores are wiped out.
Stores are completely wiped out to the point where I'm literally looking at it as we speak. $11. Not pick-upable, not delivery. Shipping, yes. Oh, there's 4 left. Add to cart. Items currently unavailable. It gets scooped up so fast. I mean, I feel bad for the people who need the containers for cereal. They can't even get it because people are buying it for their collectibles.
I saw a Facebook post about that where literally people were it was like someone talking about the reviews, how some people in the reviews were literally like raging about how Pokemon ruins everything. Just like, dude, can't even. But dude, that you're totally right, because again, that right there. Dude, think about the logic of what that means, right? So we're trying to make this an investing finance channel, and I want everybody to think for a second about what that means, right? We just literally said that Target cannot keep these cereal boxes in stock. So essentially, what we are saying is what? There are lots of people at the very least doing what?
Collect.
And are they opening these boxes?
Absolutely.
Are these cereal boxes for boxes that are going to be opened? No, they're not. So everybody is collecting these sealed ETBs. I have to imagine majority of the ETBs going into these beautiful cereal boxes are probably modern. I would say late Sword and Shield to Scarlet and Violet. That's probably majority of these ETBs sitting in these boxes. And when you get into a market like this in general, where things are running so hot, that demand is so high, hype is so screaming, that literally, and simultaneously, there's all these boxes going sealed into people's closets, that is a risk to a market like this. Because again, everyone's talking about reprints being the thing that would be needed to like save the price trajectory of the Pokemon hobby. But if there's that many sealed boxes in people's closets, if those start to come out because people need cash for any reason, because they don't love their box as much as they used to, because it's not making them money, for whatever the reason may be, that's definitely a risk to be aware of. Again, because again, when you see that you can't buy cereal boxes at Target, that means a lot of people are keeping boxes sealed in their closet, and you have to imagine they're newer boxes. So again, there's a lot of sealed product in the closet, probably, which right now is doing great, and it's really easy to keep it in your closet sealed when it's doing great. That won't happen forever and ever and ever. If reprints are coming and something like that happens, just be aware of the potential out there. Having said that, collect what you love. This is a hobby for fun. Yes, it's investable, but it's meant to be an enjoyable thing. So.
There's a perfect balance, and overexposure in a lot of things is not always a good thing.
Dude, if you love it, collect it. If you don't love it,
don't collect it.
Or if you,
or keep it small.
Or if you have it and you don't love it and it's made you money and you could use the money, dude, sell it. Who cares if it could continue to go up. I would rather use this for money for something in my life that need,
you enjoy,
or buy something I enjoy that also can go up in price, right? Again, because this hobby is so vast, there's so many options available to you. Again, don't just blindly HODL, hold on for dear life because it's the cool thing to do. Think, do what's right for you. I feel like it's taken you and I a long time to really get to that point. Right?
Yeah, no, 100%. Because I feel like we've always been in the mindset of like, dude, we've seen what like older vintage and like Sun and Moon and XY have done like over the years, and it's like, dude, if we just hang on, we can get to that really crazy price point. But we've learned that like when you hit a point where you can potentially 2, 3, 4 extra money, that number 10 Xing and all of that is not really as big as you would think.
And let's give a perfect example right now live, just to keep it real life for everybody. Prismatic Evolution, Pokemon Center, ETB. Like right now, I have one of those sitting in my closet. I sold one. I didn't tell you that. I did sell one.
Good price?
Yeah, sold it for $260.
Nice.
Like I said, but again, the other one's in the closet. The prices continuing to kind of float up a little bit because everybody's got to have a prismatic ETB, even though everything about the set is negative. The pull rates stink. Everybody is like, it's overprinted now. It's going to keep getting printed. Nobody has really positive things to say about prismatic evolutions. But yet the Pokemon Center ETB and the ETBs, the sealed boxes, just keep going up in price.
And let's talk about that. Because you look at the ETB's Pokemon Center. We've talked about this when we sold.
But the bit of my point before you finish that is I'm like debating whether I should sell that or not. Because again, it's continued to trickle up. You can get like $300 for it, more or less, right now. Mm-hmm. Could it continue to go up? Of course it could in a market like this. But, dude, I bought it for MSRP. I don't have like a huge attachment to the box. I'm trying to build my Dragonite collection. It's a consideration. So, anyway, again.
I mean, I think it's a no-brainer. I mean, I still have 2, I believe, and that's been on my list of radar to list as well. So, again, our cost was $64 on the Pokemon Center site, and we were lucky enough to get it. You were actually able to get the restock, which is awesome.
Yeah, I caught one of the restocks. Thanks to John.
And then, again, we're at the point where we can potentially 3-4 extra money. Why not take that? And again, your ultimate goal and focus right now is Dragonite. So if that's going to bring you something that, again, more vintage Dragonite cards, and again, to a set that is everyone's raging and complaining about,
Yeah, and we do got to wrap it up here because I got to relieve the misses from the little one.
I got to go swim.
Yeah, but to kind of close out that point right there, right? It is that, yes, I mean, because I've already said that again. I don't have like huge, love for the box, the Pokemon Center stamp. I get it. It's super hot right now. Doesn't do it for me. I'm not like the stamp doesn't do anything for me. I'm not like, I don't just feel
the urge to like open it to get the stamp.
And again, I don't feel the personal connection to the box. So having said that, so I definitely could feel into something else. But furthermore, to kind of just bring up a point that you and I were chatting about offline yesterday as well, my thought process is when it comes to that box right there, if a market shift does happen, my question to anybody listening out there is, how many of you have a Prismatic Evolutions Pokemon Center ETB in your closet? Or how many of you bought one, I should say? Now, how many of you opened the boxes that you got? How many of you intend to open the boxes that you're buying, whether it be on eBay or from Pokemon Center? And my guess is not very many of you. They're probably going into those Target plastic containers we were just talking about.
If you can find it.
If you can find them and just sitting there sealed. So again, as those boxes continue to get rolled out, especially if more waves come out and probably just go into closets, yes, in the market like this, absolutely that box can continue to push in the short term. I might lose out on some of those gains, but I know just from my background, the way supply and demand works, that if a shift does come and there are tons of those boxes sealed in the closet and all of a sudden the price starts to fall, it will be a battle to get to the bottom of that price point as everyone rushes those boxes just because of the imbalance of supply and demand. Now, will that happen? Maybe not. It absolutely could continue to go up and then just end up settling higher than I ever sold it for. And I just made it, again, lost out on some profits, but I bought it for MSRP. I could make a pretty healthy profit on the box right this very moment and funnel that into something that either will help me with my life or advance my collection in a way that I feel really good about. And I feel like you can't lose when you're doing that.
Yeah. I agree.
So we're going to keep doing this. We're going to get back together every week and talk about cards from the standpoint of money. I'm going to do my best to bring it back to real life investing habits so you can use this for more than just your Pokemon cards. You can use it for your investment portfolios and kind of help you with the psychology of that. But this should be fun, dude.
Yeah. And I'll continue to hammer you for not buying MSRP product at store.
We're going back to Walmart, me and Samson, today. We're going back. I'm not telling John which Walmart.
No, you have to go to Walmart and call me.
Oh.
You owe me that.
I'm not calling him.
All right, people.
All right. Until next time, everybody, this is Cardboard Finance, and we will see you next week.
Bye.